Well, the Washington Tourism Alliance is having its 5th Tourism Summit, and we're here in Olympia because we're going to have programs this morning, and then we're going to go on the Hill. So the purpose of this morning, we've got Chris Thompson here, who's the CEO of Brand USA. That's our international marketing arm for the United States. We have Todd Davidson here from Travel Oregon, and they're both going to share with us the big picture of tourism, how we as a state can participate if we can find the mechanism support to fund this. And then we're going to go on the Hill and meet with our legislators, because this is our moment. We've got a bill in the House and the Senate that has a mechanism for funding a sustainable tourism program for a statewide effort that will enable us to be competitive, participate regionally, nationally, and internationally to bring visitors to the state of Washington. So the Washington Tourism Alliance was organized when the state tourism office was being closed, and we really have worked very deliberately to include all of the different business sectors that make up the tourism and hospitality industry. It's not like there's one category. So we've got hoteliers and transportation, tour operators, we've got attractions, and that can vary from outdoor recreation to the museums, arts and culture. We have hotels, bed and breakfast, RV parks, and destination marketing organizations. We've got a very big tent. We've got representatives from the tribes and the ports, and we're working with all of them to make sure that we find a mechanism, and we think we've got it. We've got a bill in play. It assesses our industry so that we'll be industry-led, industry-governed, assessing ourselves to fund a tourism program that will be sustainable and competitive. And then we'll also, because we'll have a nonprofit organization that implements the marketing program, the ones that can't be assessed for one rule or another. The Wine Commission is a great example. They already assess the wineries, but the Wine Commission and the wineries want to participate, so they're here. But they'll be voluntary They'll be voluntary contributors to the fund that will help us market Washington. So we're all here working together, making sure that we're united. This is our moment to get before the legislators and continue to give that support and that voice so that we can really be a participant on the marketplace for bringing visitors to the state of Washington. So tourism matters to all of us in Washington because visitors come here, they spend their time and money, they actually even pay taxes that then you and I don't have to pay. So for every visitor that comes, it creates jobs, it helps us have a great quality of life, and they leave behind about $400 per household in tax relief. You and I aren't paying that tax bill because they come. So the more we get of them, the better that our own tax bills are, as well as the prosperity of the businesses and the attractions, from for-profits to not-for-profits to our parks that we all love and want to sustain. Visitors help us do that. Okay. So last year in the legislative session, we introduced a study bill, and it was passed. And so we actually spent a year working on a study of how does the mechanism of funding tourism work, and what can we do and what can we not do in Washington. And because of the study bill's success, the different government agencies were directed to help us figure that out, because we're outside of government. We're a nonprofit organization, but we needed the help of these agencies to really explore with us what we could and couldn't do. So we came up with a model. We're actually using a model that has worked really well for the technology companies that have a recycling program of technology. And so that's the model that we're using. They assess themselves, they contract for services to do the recycling. We're going to assess ourselves and then contract for services to implement the marketing program. So the model exists, and that study bill was so important. And the legislators really made that possible last year. And so we're having the opportunity to build on the momentum, and we have a bill in both the House and the Senate that will legislate the mechanism and give us that access to assess ourselves, collect the dollars, and then implement it for a contract for services. So it's very exciting, and we've had great support from the government agencies as well as the legislators and their aides, and we're very thankful. We're just really hoping to keep the momentum going and be successful in this session.